What is up, POW fam? And my name is Paul POW, aka Paul POW, and welcome to round number 6 and the second half of the Norway Chess here at Pawn POW, a chess series of Paul POW. And literally, it's really amazing to be here. Feeling so tired. Why am I like, yeah. So, round number 6, all players are going to face each other one more time. And it's also June, so we're just days away before the exciting Duo Davao 2026. It's about to kick off this Friday, the same day the Nintendo Switch 2 celebrates its first anniversary. But not for that, we're talking for now. So we're here at round number 6 of the Norway Chess, and we're taking a look between the Filipino-born American Grandmaster Wesley So and the Indian Grandmaster Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa. That's a long name, but hey, I'm used to this. I mean, I think I kind of memorized the last name, and I mean, Rameshbabu is the easy one, but yeah. Alright, enough the dilly-dally and chatting. Let's take a look at this game for round number 6 of Norway Chess. So Wesley So begins with pawn to d4 and then d5 for Prague, c4, e6, knight c3, c6, pawn e3, knight f6, knight f3. Okay, knight bd7. So this bishop is kind of like stuck in place for now. Maybe he's going to do knight b6 later on, but we're gonna find that out. Bishop e2, bishop d6, castles, and I could go for bishop or for c5 and then bishop c7. Maybe it's also the same for like this or something like that. But instead, Wesley still goes with b3, and then knight goes to e4, bishop goes to b2, pawn f5, pawn g3, queen f6, a4, a5, and then queen goes to c2, g5, knight takes and f takes, knight goes to d2, queen h6, f3, e takes and rook takes. So it's kind of like a scary position right now as well for this one too. Pretty much, but then there's the exchange pawn g4. So I think the reason Praggnanandhaa pushed the pawn, gave it away, because I think the plan is to like take this one. So like bishop takes and then does this as well. Queen takes e3 check, and then either way I can go king g2, and then what could it be? Knight f6. And maybe bishop f3, and I think that's pretty much it. Push pawn, and then takes it. It's gonna be a double pawn, or like, yeah, there's like bishop and then takes and takes, pretty much. Alright, back to knight f6. So he didn't take this one immediately, but instead does knight f6 and then waited for bishop f3, and then he does that. Praggnanandhaa goes with queen takes e3, and then king goes to g2, e5, c takes, d takes, and then d takes and bishop takes, and then bishop takes again, queen takes, rook goes to c1, bishop goes to bishop goes to g4, queen c3, pawn d4. It's pretty much now the endgame, but we're still far from over, honestly, because with queen c4, king h8, queen d3, rook goes to e8, knight c4, queen h5, bishop takes, and then queen takes h3. Queen goes to h5, rook goes to f1, queen d5 check, queen f3. Okay, this knight is safe because there's that pawn over there, but there's pawn d3, so ready for promotion right over there, so he has to go to defend this. So let's see, he took the exchange, so they exchange queens. Rook goes to b1, so the knight goes to b4 to protect the pawn on d3 that wants to go for promotion. So knight takes a5, b5, a takes b5, so that's 2 pawns out. Rook b8, knight c4, rook takes b5, king goes to f2. So this king is heading closer to this pawn. So king g7, king e3, and this king as well for Praggnanandhaa tries to catch it up for the endgame gauntlet. So rook goes to g5, rook g1, so nothing protecting, but either way he cannot push the pawn. Praggnanandhaa cannot push the pawn to d2 because there's cannot push here. No, not there. push this because of the knight, which is, oh gosh, that was, I'm kind of like rapping. Alright, rook b5, king goes to d4, rook d5 check, knight c3. So here the king is forcing this knight to go away, but he still cannot take this one because it's check. So knight a2 was the move, and then king goes to d2 to prevent this pawn from pushing forward. So knight b4, rook goes to a1, knight c6, knight e3, rook d7, knight f5, king f7, knight f3, knight e5 and rook f1, king e6, and then the exchange. I think he was forced to exchange, but yeah, I think it's best to do this because there's a threat in here, and but either way you can go here or long way around to protect this. Okay, so knight c4, and then Praggnanandhaa goes with knight takes e4, then b takes e4, king e5, rook f3, rook goes to d4, rook f4, rook d7. So this one, he protected this to avoid like this exchange right over here, but no thank you. So rook f4, rook goes to d7, rook f3, rook d4, rook f7. Okay, so he didn't want to like go back here to draw this game, but like takes and takes and takes, but that's not gonna be that. Instead he has to go for rook c4 and then probably maybe protect it over here, they say? I don't know. So let's see, rook f7, h6, rook f4, rook to d6, c5, rook g6, rook g4, rook c6, rook c4, h5, king d3, rook g6, g4, h takes, rook c6, knight e4, or rook e4 rather, king d5, and then rook d4, and right over here, Rameshbabu Praggnanandhaa resigned in his position because I think it's a pass pawn already, but the pawn has been taken, like, he's already one pawn behind. He just took it anyway instead of, like, probably pushing for the pawn, but I think that's a desperate move of h takes g4, and then h takes d4, rook c6, rook e4, king d5, and rook d4, so that's pretty much. Alright, so Wesley So, with this win, he now leads the Open Tournament of the Norway Chess 2026. So yeah, he's already like around 11 points or something. I didn't memorize it, but I think it's in 11 points because he scores 3 points with a win. So that's gonna be pretty much it, POW fam. So that's it for our round number 6 of Norway Chess here at Pawn POW, a chess series of Paul POW. Thank you so much for watching, POW fam, and don't forget to subscribe on my main channel, Paul POW, and do follow us on Facebook, Paul POW. And for more fun at the Galaxy, go check us out on Twitch, X, TikTok, Instagram, Threads, Blue Sky, and on our vlog channel, POW Vlogs. So that's pretty much it for me. This has been Paul POW saying so long here at the Galaxy.